It is that Panda Guy, and I'm here again with another video. And today I wanted to talk a bit about armaments and give my opinions on them overall and what I've kind of just thought about them, right? So I honestly don't think the armaments are going to be massive, and obviously they still will have a big impact on the game, right? I feel like for whales who are able to go crazy, go ham, obviously it's going to mean a lot, but when you really consider a lot of these factors, this is going to be hard to say. So I want to lay out a ton of stuff, and I want to say I still think that parts are going to be vastly better than armaments in a lot of cases, and that I don't see armaments surpassing parts or anything, at least not anytime soon. I've had multiple people who spend like hundreds of thousands of gems, maybe millions of gems, whatever it is. And let's say you spend 1,000,000 gems, there's a chance you might only get 5 golden armaments, for example, and you get a lot of purples and all that. And it's not like you don't get armaments and all that, but the thing is, getting those armaments that you really want is just really hard, and you're really gambling with a lot of your gems and all that kind of stuff. And I feel that the biggest issue about this is you're going to, the stats on them to start off, I want to say, are pretty minuscule. And of course, I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit biased, and there could be improvements later down the line, but you look at this, right? And obviously, if you have a legendary armament, you're gonna have 2 hone attributes. But when you're looking at this, so if I hone this, change it up, right? I'm going to say this as an example. This is squad block 17. Obviously, you can make the argument that squad block or lethality, all this type of stuff, we don't know how much of an impact it has. But when you consider this one being blue right now, having 17 squad block, and it's kind of somewhat comparable to maybe the Rider squad defense, which is 1.2%. And I think this is very hard to determine how good this will be, right? Because you say a legendary armament might start with 2 hone attributes. If you're able to get to 5 stars, you're able to get 5 hone attributes. But the thing is, you're going to have to, I'm assuming you're going to have to get one, you're going to actually have to get 2 of the same armament, which means that you're going to have to either get really lucky to get 2 of the same armament, which is, obviously going to be legendary in that case. So even for whales, this is going to be extremely hard. You're going to have to spend a ton of gems, a ton of money, whatever it is. And basically you have to get that armament twice. And then what I'm assuming is you're going to have to get that armament another 2 times, because you're going to have to merge those other 2 armaments, and then you have to merge the 2 1-star armaments to get this 2 stars. And then you're going to have to keep repeating that, and it's going to get higher and higher. And the big issue is, if you're barely able to get a few legendary armaments with hundreds of thousands of gems, right, you're going to have to dismantle all of those. You're going to have to basically buy these out. And since you're only buying fragments, let's say you buy all 10 of these backpack fragment choice boxes. Even if you use all 10 of those fragments towards one specific armament that you want to build up, you need 30 armaments or 30 armament pieces for literally one thing, to forge one piece. So you're going to be doing this, you have to buy this many times over. You have to dismantle a lot of parts. And I still think, of course, whales will be able to eventually get that advantage. They're able to get that edge if they spend enough money. But even for whales, I find this very hard for it to be lucrative when you're considering you raising your base stats of all your parts, for example. And I think you have 21 parts. You can raise each one of these parts up to 15% of base stats on your entire account, compared to maybe rising your stats on an armament, which only gives you, buffs on a specific hero, right? And that is just the big thing for me. Of course, you can put multiple armaments on one hero, but the point still stands that it is going to be extremely difficult to get all these parts, to get them all up, to rise all their levels. It's just going to be a real pain. It's going to be a ton of money. And I think this is only really useful for people who are maybe late game into their parts. Maybe let's say you get all your stuff at gold, all your stuff at red, or even having all your parts maxed out. And then these percents mean a lot. And of course, for really mega whales who max these out and such, this will be insane, right? This will obviously be really good for them, but I still find the stats that you're getting, at least so far from what I'm looking at, very minuscule compared to maybe parts. And I think that the thing about this is, I'm honestly happy about this because I think that this is good, because I feel that a lot of people were worried about this maybe being super bad and maybe the stats will be overpowered. And I still think that, of course, for mega whales, this will be very effective. But just in general, spending on this, even for low spenders, I find this to be very bad. And I think that it might honestly be better in some cases to just not spend at all and to just go free to play on freaking Armaments, right? So it's honestly really hard to say. And I think this is really up to the player to determine if it's worth their time, if it's worth their money. And I honestly don't think it is. Unless I'm at all gold parts, I don't see myself actually investing into Armaments at that point. I think that it's better to just go slow, try to get those stats up slowly. And that is the only case. I don't know. I just wanted to ramble. I wanted to give my opinion. I do appreciate the devs for not going freaking ham and making them all give 30% stats, right? I think that it being mildly like hard for even, whales to do and get it up just makes it better for lower spenders. And I understand, honestly, people having complaints about the devs being greedy and stuff. But honestly, when you consider how bad the stats are and how much money you're probably gonna have to spend to even get these things up, and like I said, I feel the stats are very minuscule. I think that this is somewhat good. And, I can see from the perspective of a company and stuff, them really wanting to turn a profit. So honestly, I can't say I'm really upset with the devs for releasing something like this. I do think that this was maybe rushed and they should have done better. And you guys saw a YouTube video freaking comment. But yeah, I do think that the devs probably rushed this. Should have been better done, better managed, maybe waited longer before they released something like this. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to blabber about how I feel. I do think that this is thankfully somewhat good. But I do appreciate you guys as always for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope my opinion gave you guys some light to maybe take just advice from, I don't know, whatever you guys think. But I do appreciate you guys as always, and I don't want to hold you guys up anymore. Do let me know in the comments how you guys feel about these parts. If you guys, not parts, but equipment. If you guys think that this will be a massive game changer, of course, I still think it will be somewhat, but I still think that it is not going to be as big as people originally believed. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments how you guys feel about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video though, and peace.